Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope you're doing good and having a solid day. This isn't one of those tiny background updates that barely changes anything. You can tell pretty quickly that the developers were focused on difficulty balance, long-term replay value, and tightening up how the game feels once you get deep into matches. The biggest thing most players are going to notice right away is how much tougher the game can get now. The CPU difficulty has been expanded in a way that clearly targets players who felt like they had already mastered the highest settings. If you were cruising through matches, reading the AI easily, or farming content without much resistance, that experience is very different now. The new upper difficulty range makes the CPU more aggressive, more reactive, and way less forgiving when you make mistakes. You'll see the AI punish unsafe vanishes, respond faster to sidesteps, and chain pressure in a way that actually forces you to play more thoughtfully instead of relying on muscle memory alone. On top of that, the addition of the extreme difficulty option really changes the tone of single-player content. This mode doesn't just increase damage numbers, it feels like it's designed to test your fundamentals. Guard timing matters more, stamina management becomes critical, and spamming supers without setting them up properly is going to get you blown up fast. It's clear this mode is meant for players who want that old school earn every win feeling, where surviving a match feels just as satisfying as winning it. Another major addition tied into this update is the expansion of mission content, including the newly added Mission 100. This isn't just filler content either. The later missions are clearly built around pushing players to adapt rather than brute force their way through. Enemy behavior changes depending on how you approach the fight, and some missions feel almost like puzzles where positioning, transformation timing, and meter usage are more important than raw damage. It adds a layer of depth that helps the single-player side of the game feel less repetitive, especially for players who already cleared most of what was available before. In terms of balance, while full official breakdowns are still rolling out, the overall feel of combat is noticeably tighter. Certain characters that previously felt overwhelming now seem a bit more manageable, while others benefit from smoother transitions and better responsiveness. Movement feels more consistent, clashes resolve more cleanly, and there's less of that awkward delay that can sometimes throw off the flow of high-speed exchanges. It's subtle, but once you play a few matches back-to-back, you can feel that things are more stable and deliberate. Performance-wise, the update also brings improvements that aren't always obvious on a patch note, but absolutely matter during long play sessions. Matches feel more stable overall, especially during chaotic moments with multiple effects, transformations, or ultimates firing off in quick succession. Online matches benefit from better synchronization in many cases, reducing those frustrating moments where inputs feel like they're being swallowed or delayed. It's not perfect, but it's a noticeable step forward. There have also been fixes to smaller issues that longtime players will appreciate. Certain visual glitches, animation hiccups, and rare bugs that could disrupt matches or menus have been cleaned up. These are the kinds of things that don't get much hype, but go a long way toward making the game feel more polished and reliable. When a fighting game runs smoothly, it keeps you focused on the match instead of fighting the system. What really stands out about this update is the message it sends. The developers are clearly leaning into supporting players who want a challenge and who plan to stick with the game long term. By raising the skill ceiling and expanding difficult content instead of just adding easy wins, they're encouraging growth, experimentation, and mastery. It rewards players who take the time to learn matchups, understand mechanics, and refine their playstyle instead of just overpowering opponents. At the same time, this update doesn't take anything away from more casual players. The lower difficulty options are still there, and the core experience hasn't been made inaccessible. Instead, it feels like the game now has a more complete range of experiences, whether you're just enjoying the spectacle or pushing yourself to your limits. Overall, this update feels like a foundation update, one that sets the stage for future content rather than trying to steal the spotlight on its own. It strengthens what's already there, sharpens the challenge, and gives players more reasons to keep coming back and testing themselves. If you're the kind of player who loves seeing your skills improve over time, this patch gives you the tools and the opposition to make that journey feel meaningful.